Just pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Pledge allegiance to the hip hop. Allegiance to the hip hop. I pledge allegiance to the hip hop. I breaks it down to the bone gristle. Ill speaking, scud missile, heat seeking. Johnny blazing, nightmares like Wes Craven. Niggas gunning, my third eye seen it coming before it happened. You know about them fucking statin kids, they smashing everything, in any shape, form, or fashion. Now everybody talking about they blasting. Is you busting still or is you flashing? Talking out your asshole. You should have learned about the flow in PZ Afro. Italian stallion, chinky eye and snot nose. From my naps to the bunion on my big toe, I keeps it moving. Know just what the fuck I'm doing. Rap insomniac, fiend to catch a nigga snoozing. Slip the cardiac, arrest me. Exorcist hip hop possess me. Crunch a nigga like a Nestle. You know my stage, burning to a third degree. Sneaky ass alley cat, top pedigree. The head toucher, industry party bum rusher. You don't like it, dick up in your fuck ya. Right. Best to go back and check your fucking stack. Because your naps ain't nappy enough. And your reach ain't rugged enough.
Yo, I slayed them C's back in the rec room era. My style broke motherfucking backs like him for terror. Most rap niggas came loud but unheard. Once I pulled out, round them off to the nearest third. Check these non-visual niggas with tapes in a portrait. Flood the seminar trying to orbit this corporate industry. But what them niggas can't see must break through like the woo unexpectedly. Protect your neck, my sword still remains imperial. Before I blast the mic, RZA scratch off the cereal. We rain all year round from June to June. While niggas bite immediately, if not soon. Set the lynching and inform the execution date as this 2000.
If you're gonna buy a McLaren, you might as well go all out. Why would you buy the cheapest option? You might as well buy a Honda Civic.
The McLaren is by far, the 765 LT is by far the sexiest looking vehicle I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But the maintenance I heard is so bad on it. Everything breaks, but it's like, it's literally a spaceship, that car. When you see it, it's ridiculous.
Even if you buy it just to look at it, it's worth it.
I think that's half of the reason why you would buy it, just to literally look at it.
It's a shit ton of money. That's more than most people's houses. You know what I mean?
It is a house. It's a house on four wheels. Yeah.
So
it's the ultimate track machine that I've ever seen. Even the 720S.
you said you wanted a Mercedes?
Yeah, I want to get either the C63 or C43, just little beater,
Yeah.
beater car. G-Wagon would be nice, but they're just so over market right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, is it worth it? Not worth it. But the Mercedes, like the C63, that engine, it's a V8 twin turbo, 500 or 600 horsepower, but you can do unholy things with that car. Like it's a menace for a C-Class. I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of power that thing could put out is ridiculous.
Yeah. When you get it, we might have to race.
Oh, we will. That's the thing. We will race. Yeah. I mean,
We'll
you'll
go on
probably
that
have
road.
double my horsepower in the Audi, but you know.
Hey, man, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
It's, I think that's actually something that's important, because there's a lot of people that talk shit about like material things, and because I think that they take it too far, you know. Everything is within context.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
course.
some people, just to make an argument, they take things out of context and they talk shit about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, who doesn't like a nice car, a fast
Yeah,
car?
exactly.
Like, if you have it and you want it, like, why not? If you
Yeah.
have it and you don't want it, but you can afford it, then that's a different story.
Yeah,
Like, But
exactly.
either way, you don't have to hate on somebody that,
Yeah, dude, exactly. I mean, everyone's different, and then the thing I think is important too is like as long as you find happiness outside of whatever it is, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, a car could make you happy, but if you're relying on a car to make you happy, I think that's a little bit too much.
happiness is one thing. I think the bigger thing, though, is drive and purpose.
Yeah.
Because, okay, take somebody that maybe has nothing else other than a car that inspires him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that inspires him. Listen, if he buys that car and that's the only thing that's keeping him out of the street, out of getting in trouble, out of doing something, and that's like his drive, like, okay, because I want this expensive car or because I want this expensive house, like, yeah, it may not be the best end goal, but if it's going to motivate him to live a purposeful and fulfilled life and work every single day towards something great, I think that's
all for
better
it.
than having, no purpose, no goals, no ambition, living their lives idling.
I'm all for it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because everyone's got to start somewhere, right? And it's like you have to find that inner drive inside of you, and especially when you're starting out in a very, very rough spot, it's hard to do that. You know what I mean? So like if you could find anything that just, gets you out of that rut, it's perfect, right? And
Yeah.
so like that, just having like a love for cars could lead into starting like a detailing business or like a tuning shop or becoming like an F1 racer. Like that'll lead to other things. But it's like if you only are happy after years and years and years just because you have like the cars and like the watches and stuff, all right, then that's, for me, that I'm not, but use it as something to build for bigger, for bigger purpose.
Yeah. It's about leverage.
Yeah.
Leverage. Like, for me, something that motivates me a lot is I want to have an abundance of resources
Yeah.
so I could take care of my family.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge. And, somebody may think of this as like, okay, I could have like, 6 figures a year or like, but that's too small for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about what if something incredibly bad happens and there goes your 6-figure year.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna generate more money? Like, it's about thinking about what's gonna happen after that tragedy
Yeah.
and being ready for it. And
Consequences.
should you never need it, then you're prepared. It's better to be prepared than unprepared. It's better to overpack than underpack.
Because then you're gonna wish you had it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. My big goal is like my long-term vision is because I'm a very, very Christian guy. So like I want to be able to build Christian schools run by like priests and stuff like that. But there was this quote that I saw was money can't buy happiness, but being broke can't buy you anything. And it's like it's great because it's it's to an extent to have whatever it is that you want, and that's just knowing that it's like it keeps you down to earth, but it also puts you in the mentality that like, all right, you gotta push. You know what I mean? Because if you want to do something good, you need capital.
Yeah.
You need a lot of money to do something big. And it's like people can take it the wrong way. It's up to them if they want to, but
I like what you mentioned about the Christian churches,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why. I haven't gone to church in a long time. However, I believe that everybody needs a spiritual purpose, and you can tap into that spiritual purpose through many different avenues, right? Like for you, it may be churches. Something that actually sticks out to me, and I know it's not when you think of spirituality, you mainly think of religion.
Yeah.
However, the way that I'm thinking about it is, for me, like I'm big into, creating like farms and a good food supply to ultimately help out people. So that's something that is deep and resonates like within my soul,
Wow.
because I know that for the same reason that you want to build a Christian church is to obviously inspire people and give them a bigger purpose and I guess you could say benefit them by providing them that option to have the faith and believe and ultimately it's making them a better person.
Yeah.
Like it's very wholesome. It's the same thing with food and making sure that you're taking care of your people.
Yeah.
Because I believe that right now we're fighting a spiritual war.
Yes.
And we're not just getting hit from one angle, we're getting hit from every single angle. Even certain foods that, are being distributed to the people are
It's all
lowering their
altered.
vibration. How? Because this could sound very easily like woo-woo, but explaining it is very simple. If you're eating consistently unhealthy foods, not going to the gym, not working out, you're gaining weight, you're becoming less active. Now you feel more lethargic, lazier,
Testosterone levels are so down.
plummeting.
It's unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Because of that, because of all the chemicals inside the food, bringing it
Yeah.
way down, and then they're claiming that it's the new average.
Yeah.
So it's like when you have now higher testosterone, doctors will be like, wait, for your age, this is abnormally high. And it's like, no, it's who are you comparing me to because of all that.
Yeah, and now people feel like they're vibrating at a lower state
Yeah.
because they're just unmotivated, don't have that much purpose, don't want to do anything. And it has everything to do with everything. Like
That's right.
it's not just one thing, it's how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Of course.
You know?
Of course. And it's like, that's why one of my long-term like goals is to live somewhere in like the corner of the country. Doesn't even have to be this country, but take my family, move to like a corner of a country and just have my own self-sustaining farm.
You're gonna go to Montana?
Dude, Montana, Washington, something like that, where it's like I have my own farm, own cattle, and just not have to rely on anything, because that is like ultimately what's killing us like on such a long term. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be shocked if, all this stuff in the past 3 years has reduced our life expectancy by 10 years
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
10, 20 years. Because you're always reliant on other things and you don't know what they're being put into your body and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's all about money these days. It's
course.
all about the money. So if I can produce something and put a preservative in there that's not necessarily the healthiest thing, but it'll keep the shelf life of that specific product for longer,
Yeah.
then I'll be able to make more money off of it because I'll be able to stock up on more of those things and distribute them at a bigger margins,
Yeah.
right? At a bigger portion. And now, you're making more money, but
Making more people sick too. Yeah.
and that's the problem.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think that's why men these days are not what they used to be, because obviously T levels are down completely, but it's like they just don't care for themselves because it's so easy. And so they're not earning what they have, right? Like we used to go out and hunt deer, hunt like, whatever other kind of animals, and now it's like we're just like our whole society is moving towards like lab grown shit, and then the government starts claiming that like it's not like meat is not the highest level of protein, and like you should move to plants and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, and that's why you're just slowly killing all of us.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. It's funny you say that because I used to be vegan for 4 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
shit.
was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago. And I watched this fucking documentary. I did some research on it, and I wasn't convinced. However, I'm not afraid to try something.
Get vegan either.
Yeah, well, I tried it for 30 days and I felt fine, and maybe I hypnotized myself to think that I felt better because that's what I was going for,
Yeah.
right? You feed the mind whatever you feed it, the plant
Yeah.
grows, and that now you believe it,
Yeah.
right? So then I was vegan for those 30 days, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, like let me just keep going.
Yeah.
So 4 years later, I'm dating this girl, and she tries the vegan diet, and like 2 weeks in, she starts breaking out. And I told her, I was like, listen, like you don't have to you don't have to go vegan if you don't want to. Like, this is just what I'm doing. You could, oh, I wanted to try it, blah, blah, blah. So then she stopped. She went back to just, her regular diet. And there was this one time she was cooking a steak. And I was like, damn, like that smells pretty good, And I started doing some additional research. And, the funny thing about the whole vegan culture is that they propagate that meat is bad. However, when they associate meat, they're mainly talking about processed foods.
Yeah.
They're mainly talking about McDonald's. They're mainly talking about Wendy's and all these other places. But I never found a study on grass-fed, grass-finished meat, like cows that you can eat that are actually healthy. So that's when I was like, you know what? Let me go on a meat diet for 30 days. Let me try a steak diet for 30 days straight. And I tried it, bro, and that was it. Like, I don't know what it was, but when I tried that meat, it was like, I don't know, bro.
Just
like,
changed it.
It
Changed
was.
it for you.
I just felt like I had a lot more energy.
Very masculine, yeah.
I had a lot more energy, and it was a lot easier for me to grow muscle
Yeah.
afterwards because I was even eating less, but I was maintaining or growing because the protein intake that I was having before the vegan diet, I had to eat a lot more foods. I was getting my protein, but I had to have such a diversification of foods to get the proper proteins, whereas you could just eat a 12-ounce New York strip steak and you have everything there.
Meat is the highest level of protein, and plants are actually the lowest.
And the fact of it is that when you eat like plant protein, it's not the amino acids a lot of the times are not complete.
Yeah.
So like steak, it has the 9 essential amino acids that your body needs.
Yeah.
Chicken. So that's why like it is a whole food. You know, it is a superfood, you could say.
100%.
So then after that, bro, I was just like, yeah, I'm never going back to
That's why I go
that
to
shit.
Chipotle all the time.
Yeah, and also like
the rice and chicken bowl.
I'm dating this chick, she's cooking.
Yeah.
She was cooking like 2 different meals at the same time, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, like let me try that. And it ended up working out better. So and that's why also I think that it's very important to have somewhat of an open mind. Not too open where you could be persuaded easily. However, just open enough where you're aware. Allow yourself to be aware and take in information and then make judgment based on
off your own research.
Exactly.
Yeah, and a lot of people lack that too. A lot of people do. And I think it's also something that in business we do that as well. Like we do that, but like some people also mess it up where it's like they'll take so much information from so many different sides and then they just don't know what to do and they start freaking out. But it's so true. Like you have to have your own judgment based off of experiences and be able to have that self-awareness to say, okay, you know what? 3 different guys told me, 3 different things. I'm just gonna make my own judgment, take action on one of them, and then we'll just go from there.
I'm back to ballin', I've been on the low. Yeah, a couple $1 million just made off the road. Nah, I ain't from the D, but this shit on the flow. Yeah. Any niggas, they can't fuck with me. Wanna give a shout out to my Nina, yeah, she stuck with me. You can go ask any one of these hoes, it ain't no cuffing me. Mr. Glock, Mr. Get Shit Done, and I'm sucker free, bitch.